Completing the fight caves and ultimately beating Jad is still one of the most iconic OSRS milestones for any player. For us, we beat that milestone a long time ago, and I'd like to think that we're a much more experienced player now, taking on new challenges and beating those as well, like the Inferno, the Colosseum. Basically, in some senses, the fight caves and Jad is behind us. But this is where combat achievements make it interesting. There are some pretty difficult combat achievements to do, namely denying the healers 1 and 2, and of course, the no time for a drink, arguably the most difficult one in my humble opinion, where you cannot lose a single prayer point in doing the entire fight caves run. So that's what we're going to be up to today. And after we're done with that, since we're no longer locked to the Mocha grind, we find ourselves doing some more raiding, which we haven't done in quite some time. After a few skip tasks back at Kerdel, we pick up a Czar task, in which I believe I've made up my mind already. We're going to do Jad. We do still have some combat achievements to do at Jad. I think 3 of them exact. And for this first KC, we're going to go for 2 of them. We're going to go for denying the healers 1 and 2. 1 is just not letting those big melee guys heal, and 2 is not letting Jad get healed by healers. Here we are just outside the entrance to Jad, the fight caves, and we've geared up. I didn't have a preset or anything like that, so I kind of had to figure this out on the fly. We do have the chins and the bofa to speed things up a little bit, but I don't have any melee switches because, I mean, we're not going for the speed time. We already have the speed time done, but I would still like to go relatively fast. I didn't bring any melee switches because I didn't want to have a potential brain fart and run into a melee and like Klossback it and have it healed or something like that. So we're just going to fully range here. I have my full Missouri on, some new boots, you know, the Avernic treads, and I'm going to be going with the Venator ring this time. I think because I have double depth charge and I'm not looking to Klossback, the most I'm going to do is the blowpipe spec for the occasional healing. Even then, I have my inventory packed with a bunch of anglers, and I'm not too sure about the divine ranging potion to super restore ratio here, but I mean, it should be fine, right? It should be fine. I've pre-potted, and in we go. And one more thing, I did not even care for which rotation we're on, as we're not speedrunning. Last time I was in here though and going for that GM time, the fight caves spawn predictor was not working. Let's see if it works this time. Looks like it is. Okay. Let's remember that we are trying to avoid the melees from healing. I guess we might as well make use of some blowpipe specs early, even though we don't necessarily need them, but potentially extra DPS. I think the Bofa shot does have the ability to one-shot these rangers. Alright, the wave after this is going to be melee. And all we have to do is not let it melee us. Did I need a stamina pot? I was under the impression that I don't need one anymore, but my stamina is really low. I'm just going to play it safe here. Again, the objective isn't speed. We're trying not to get the melee to heal, in which, you know, this is very poor pathing right now. Oh! Imagine I just failed right then and there. Oh! That could have been bad. That could have been bad. There's a certain, like, HP threshold in which I should finish off a major with a blowpipe instead of T-bowing again. I don't know the number, but again, I shouldn't even be concerned with these things. I'm not trying to go fast right now necessarily. And if I was, I'm doing a very poor job of it right now. Wave 45. It's been pretty chill so far because, like I said, no melees during these waves. So nothing to concern ourselves with, although there is one next wave. We'll just wait for the melee to come here. Honestly, like, this is a very simple combat achievement, and the only way we can mess up is if we're just impatient, and then when we're impatient, we make a silly mistake. So let's do our best to just take our time here. Oh. Well, this is going to cause issues. Whew. Yeah, that blob was in the way. Oh, I was realizing... Oh, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. Oh, turn the corner, turn the corner. I thought there might have been a problem there, but there wasn't. Okay, I guess that was the last wave, because it's double majors in the Jad now, so we're good. Jad healers, denying the healers too. Most reliable way to get this achievement is by luring Jad near the entrance in the northeast corner. So I'm actually in the northeast corner right now, as they can't spawn there. Once Jad is lured, the player should move to the center of the arena, carefully tag each healer as they spawn, and move towards Jad. They can still heal Jad if they're close to them. You know, there's a chance that because we're in max gear, we just absolutely blast it before the healers can even do anything, but you never know. All right, anyways, how are we going to alert from over there to over here? And before we die to Jad. Okay, I guess first step is we'll just run all the way over here. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yep. This is how people do it, right? It looks familiar. I don't think I have healers highlighted. That could be bad. Oh. You know what? To account for any... No, please don't. I was gonna say, to account for any potential mistakes, I'll overheal with the angler. Okay, we're good, right? Okay, they healed each other, not me, right? Okay, there we go. Nice. Okay. The 2-in-1 special. Denying the healers 1 and 2. So, in terms of Jad combat achievements, we just have 1 to go. And this one's a little funky. It's complete the fight caves without losing any prayer points. I actually don't know how I'm going to do that, so I would have to look into it. You know what? I think being master tier, we do have a second one. Let me decide if I want to go do that right now or not. It might be a little bit more complicated. Okay, I spent a little bit of prep time, but not too much. Let's just send it and see what happens. Okay, whatever we do, we cannot get hit by the bats. You know what? I think freezing the bats is probably the move, right? Yeah, that's probably the move. Let's just see how far we make it. I honestly don't expect to first try this. No prayer usage. Dude, that's gonna be so weird. I gotta be careful that like I don't like just muscle memory and click on my prayers. We don't have to worry about taking damage as much here, as we have way more supplies than we typically would. And we're on Ancients to Blood Barrage back up if need be. I didn't even think about this tech, but quite obviously freezing the bats is probably a very good tech. I am in Crystal Armor because it has better prayer bonuses, and I also swapped to the Devout Boots and the Ring of the Gods. The Ranger, I mean, honestly, you know, I could flick, but also they do next to no damage. I get rid of them pretty quickly. I say that as I hit a 13. But again, health is very much a resource in this situation. I'm just going to do everything I can to minimize any potential mistakes. The wiki did say I could use Thralls, but I think Ancients is definitely the move here. And I'm playing in such a way because I am pretty bad at one-tick flicking. So this is probably the best course of action. Also, just realized that it's actually relatively efficient to barrage the blobs, the single blobs. Nice, it all works out. So throughout the run, I believe the bats are just going to be the most dangerous things until the majors, in which they actually could deal a decent amount of damage to me. I'm going to have to figure out one ticking when I get to the majors for sure. I don't know if I'm just thinking this is harder than it is, or maybe even the, like, I don't know. I don't know what to expect. This is honestly the easy part right now because I haven't even like thought to turn on my prayers. But like I said, when we get to the majors, that's when the majors can actually deal damage, like they're actually a threat to KO us. Also, for this combat achievement specifically, I'm very glad that the spawn predictor is working, because if a bat spawned next to me without me knowing, I would cry. Also, there's the added factor of like me being like incredibly nervous about one tick flicking now. Like even if I'm like, you know, underestimating myself and I am a little bit better than that, the nerves probably would get to me. Like 0.6 seconds all of a sudden is not 0.6 seconds. Okay, freezing these melees is so good. What the heck? I have never brought ancients into fight caves before. It's just kind of funny. Oh god, major next. I'm dead. Wait, no, don't keep my prayer on. Oh my god, I'm dude, full panic. I completely panicked. I forgot about the Karamja Elite thing. You know, I could have used that later, you know? Yeah, I completely panicked right there. And then I thought I failed it because, like, I kept my prayer on for, like, a decent amount of time there, but that was where the prayer bonus helped me out there. And then I was dead, but I have Karamja Elite. We gotta map everything out for each wave so we don't get stuck in the middle of a wave just purely panicking. I think I tanked that. No. Dang it, bro. I think I'm just gonna TP out. Yeah, I don't feel like doing the rest of this. Going into attempt number 2 on this no time for a drink CA. We should be able to get through the early waves a little bit quicker, as I know what to do now. Just freezing these bats. Very, very simple. But I just need to make it back to the major and then not panic, because I completely panicked on that last one. However, we are now doing this without a Slayer task. Oh, don't turn on preserve. Oh my. No! Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, the mental is in the bin after doing that. Alright, well, it was good practice, I suppose. And at least now we know we can make it to Jad without losing a single prayer point. We've spent a whole hour here. Alright, let's just practice this. Dude, it's so easy right now. Oh my god, it hurts, bro. Dude, I'm doing this free 99 right now. Like, I tanked 2 hits there, but like, that would have been it. Oh my god. The rotation has not been confirmed? What? It's working though. Oh, it's not. Okay, let me leave. I definitely want this, because I don't want to be standing on top of a bat spawn or something. Oh, dude. What am I doing? Can I do some damage, please? Whew. Don't pray preserve like I did last time. Yes! Okay, we did it! Oh my goodness. Took longer than it should have, but we got it done. Whew. I really gotta say, like, it's like not mechanically difficult, at least not for this stage of like how much I've been playing and how experienced I am, but it's just the mental part of it, like, that really got me, honestly. There we go, we have finished Jad. Combat achievements. You know, we're actually getting close to the Grandmaster. Like, we knocked out a couple of tasks yesterday, and we knocked out 3 tasks today. We're green logged on Jad. After completing the Jad combat achievements, I found myself at the Theater of Blood, doing some raids with some clanmates. Now, it's been a while since I did any raiding in general, as the last 2 weeks to 2.5 weeks, I had solely been doing the Doom of Mocha. Now, I wasn't necessarily locked to it like a UIM might be, but I certainly felt like I was able to green log it as I was just missing one item after only a couple of days at the boss. But as you know, RNG has a funny way of working sometimes, and the cloth, which was our final item, took a while to get. Nevertheless, we are now free, we are done with Doom of Mocha, and while we have some active goals we want to work on, I'm also unafraid to just go pot some raids for fun. The most deserved purple of all time. 2 redemptions. What are we getting? And a Vernic Hill. You know, 50 mil, we'll take it. We will take it. Let's take a look at the log here. We have a little bit of downtime right now, so I'm just taking the opportunity to recoup on our amethyst arrows. Through the entire Mocha grind, we used about 21,000 amethyst arrows somehow. Logging on for the day, and we got ourselves a spider's task. So we're going to head to Araxxor. Unfortunately, still no Araxxite task. That task is just seemingly very elusive. Nevertheless, we have geared up, and let's head on over there right now. Oh, actually, before I do that, I gotta swap out the runes in the rune pouch. Just so we know where the progress is at the moment, we currently have 1 Araxxite Fang and 1 Noxious Blade, which we got a long time ago. We got the blade on our way to our first Fang for our Amulet of Rancor, right around the release of the boss, maybe like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month in. And then we didn't really do much Araxxor since. I believe we were in the mid 600s perhaps in KC, and then we started doing some Slayer again, picked up some Spiders tasks, and we've chipped away at the Araxxor KC, but we still have not had 1 Araxxite task, which is incredibly strange to me, but it is what it is. First KC of the trip. 1 more swing. Okay, perhaps 1 more swing. All right. 1 more swing. There we go. First KC of the trip. We're going to get 6 Araxxite Venom Sacks. Okay. Mildly interesting, but a low milestone of 148 million strength EXP. I guess 150 million would be more of the milestone, but it did broadcast in the clan chat, so. Just got a new PB At Araxxor, a sub 1. I think our previous PB was like a 102 or 103, but now we just got a 58-second one. The third egg did not even hatch. 18 out of 22 of the tasks completed so far. For this last trip, 4 to go, we're going to swap to the off plate, top, and legs. Now, this is actually worse DPS by about 0.2 compared to the Inquisitor's top and Torva legs combo, switching my sight to slash here. But it does give better accuracy on the Dragon Claws. So I guess, you know, it's like a pros and cons situation. I just want to try it out though. And yeah, we'll just finish out this task. Unfortunately, no noxious halberd pieces or any type of drop yet. That was the final KC of the task. A 59-second, nearly beat our PB again. Let's see what our final loot is. 6 Araxxor Venoms. Alright, let's get out of here. Let's go see what our next task is. So I made my way to Kurdel, and I did end up picking up a Smoke Devil's task, in which we are now heading to Aya to skip it. It honestly feels illegal, something I shouldn't be doing, and I guess I do still need superiors to get a eternal gem, or have a chance of an eternal gem, but I don't know, I just can't bring myself to do it right now that we have the imbued heart. Anyways, from Aya we picked up a bear's task, so I guess we're heading to Ardio. Working on the final KC of this small bear's task right now. The way that has worked out, this is going to be Ardio KC 100. Let's see if we can get lucky here. I mean, we've already been lucky if you guys missed out on it. Previously at Ardio, we did pull the pet at a really low KC. I don't remember what number it was, maybe 29. But the game's doing a little bit of trolling because as good as the pet is, that is not the item or the drop we're after. One more hit perhaps. There we go. Task completed. We get launched for good measure. There's some dark crabs and blighted karambas. Double supply drop, huh? Grabbed as many things as I could, but let's not get chomped to death by the bear. Let's go see what our next task is. Alright, fresh off the bear's task, we finally got ourselves a massive Araxxor task from Kurdel after who knows how long. So finally, we actually get to camp at Araxxor for more than a couple of minutes at a time. Alright, let's get geared up for that. So since we finally got ourselves a big Araxxor task, we're going to be there for a while. I might need more dragon javelins. I only have the 41 sitting in my inventory right now. I do, however, have like 17.5k dragon javelin heads. Now, I was going through my bank looking for dragon, or not dragon, but javelin shafts. And evidently, I don't have any on this account for some reason. I must have just dropped them or something a long time ago, because there's no way I wouldn't have any otherwise. Luckily enough, though, on our other account, before the whole Mocha grind, we were doing a whole lot of demonics, so that we would have a set of Zenyte jewelry on this account as well. And it looks like if we search in the bank, we have 92,000 javelin shafts. So I'm going to go chuck those in the group storage right now. There's a whole bunch of other junk in here, but not relevant. All right, we've taken the 92,000 javelin shafts out of group storage. And I guess let's make some more javelin heads. This is how you do it, right? Yep, okay, cool. We'll just make a couple hundred of those, and then we'll be ready. Made my dragon javelins. Now one more thing before we go. We got to top ourselves up with some extended anti-venom pluses. Luckily, we already had some anti-venom pluses in our inventory. And the Araxxor Venom Sacks extend those bad boys, and they last for 6 minutes of anti-venom and 17 minutes of anti-poison. That's actually crazy. Well, that has crept up on us. 900 KC. What are we going to get here? Another supply drop. So I had to double check the wiki a little bit earlier because, you know, it's been quite a while since I've seen a drop. In fact, since we've been back to Araxxor recently, we have not seen any drop. Well, apparently it's 1 in 150 to see any drop. Each of the Nox Halley pieces respectively are 1 in 200, and the Araxxor Fang, which is used to make the Amulet of Rancor, is a 1 in 600. Well, 916 KC, we got a drop. Not a Noxious Halberd piece or even an Araxxor Fang. Instead, we got our 4th Araxxor head. I'm actually not too sure how many of these Araxxite heads are from the boss itself, versus some of them being from the regular Araxxites. After that last clip, we continued to do some more Araxxor, a few more trips to chip away at our big Slayer task, but we ultimately didn't get any other items, unfortunately, and we called it a day shortly afterwards. I guess this is where I can wrap up the video, and we will continue and probably finish the Araxxite task in the next one.